Yeah, are getting ready for draft. And if you're FGCU, you got to change something around here. You have to make it through the laning phase. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. Get your players on something that can get them through the laning phase. The only one who really got through it was Doran. But every time Doran showed up to a fight, everyone was already dead for every single occasion. You know, some credit over to his counterpart on the top lane, the Gangplank ultimates coming out from the side of VBO. We're pretty much on point. 2 ultimates down, 2 kills were collected with that ultimate from Dusk to Dawn. But we are getting hot and heavy into the picks and bans at the moment. We have Aatrox, Zoe, Vayne going to be taken away by the side of FGCU. Rumble and the Udi are taken away alongside the Seraphine. Once again, VBO does not want to hand that one over to Sheeta Kane.
Yeah, and this is smart from FGCU. They understand they don't need to be the ones to ban the Seraphine. So their last ban is a Vayne instead. The way things played last game, I 100% understand. So then that forces the hand at VBO to ban away the stage star in Seraphine. Get that out of the hands of FGCU support. Sheeta Kane, very good in it. I was praising Sheeta Kane for the Pike last game. It didn't work out. But still, Seraphine, very powerful champion. That will be denied. Hecarim picked up. We were talking about this in draft number 1. It is maybe not the most priority jungler, but it is contested between these two teams, and it is still good. So they have to first pick that one. Kai'Sa Alistar is an incredibly strong bot lane, not only in the 2v2, but Alistar, not the Lotus AD carry, can just roam and leave Kai'Sa to farm in the 2v1. So VBO have a lot of options here with their bot lane. FGCU going right back to that Lulu pick.
Yeah, FGCU want to take the Lulu away. I gotta say, I'm really not happy about the Vayne takeaway from Stingus. The Vayne wasn't the problem in that game at all. The Vayne was the collector of kills that were given to her by the rest of her team composition. They ban the Vayne away. They leave the ban open, and now they have to deal with Kai'Sa Alistar. You think that's any better than the Vayne Lulu? I don't think so. They do have a Lulu Lucian, so potentially a very powerful bottom lane, very aggressive bottom lane. That Lucian can be flex picked, so I do like the B3 Lucian here to at least give them some draft flexibility. I like the fact that Ronaldo has picked the Hecarim for himself. Take that off of Jimmy. He was very successful with it in game number 1. It's a champion that Ronaldo really likes to play. We talked about how in game number 1, there may be some extra priority on this Hecarim despite how much Doctor hates it and where it stands in the meta. These two players really do like the champion, and I like that FGC are going to go to some comfort after that game number 1.
Yeah, and we're going back to the old Kazakhs. This one is really, really difficult to play in a team environment, I won't lie. I've been trying to figure it out with my own team, and it's not an easy pick to execute. You really have to use Kazakhs Isolation to get any use. Against champions like Hecarim, that is easier. They're not super big team fight oriented champs. They don't group up and bunch up with their team. They're very much so find one target and go style. So Kazakhs can play into that awfully well. I'm curious whether this Lucian is going to be flexed to the mid lane or if we're just going to see it put bot. We are soon to find out. But Galio Fizz banned away, targeting this mid lane. And Viego, the first week that it is enabled, it is taken away off the board. No Blade of the Ruined King tonight.
Shame we won't see Viego. How unfortunate. What I'm more interested in is somebody needs to check the odd lines in Vegas because Jimmy is locked in the Kazakhs, and we've heard him a little bit of rumblings from Jimmy. Vlad Banners Only has not been the best team in game 2s of their series this season. It's where they've really struggled. They did turn it around in their last series of week number 3. They 2-0'd that one, but they have struggled in game 2s. And Jimmy has picked a very, very interesting jungler for himself. Once again, Kazakhs can really be a feast or famine jungler. So I'm wondering if Jimmy's thrown some odds down in Vegas once again. He's been memeing about it in Discord for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, trying to break the odds of League of Legends, I guess. Nico is locked in as well, which I am very confused about. From VBO, it is a fine mid laner, but when you're playing with the Kazakhs, yes, you have different damage profiles, but they do very, very different things. Nico is really all about that big ultimate Pop Blossom. As speaking of big ultimates, FGC are going to hover this Taric to pair with their lane here. I don't know if that would be real because that means we'd get Lulu in a solo lane, and we have a Taric indeed. So Lulu top, unless we're getting some crazy shenanigans with GP again, but I have not been given any word about that, so I'm going to stick to my guns here. It is Lulu top, Lucian bot, Taric as well, and then Corki in the mid lane.
Okay. I actually don't have a lot of initial thoughts about this draft because I have not seen this sort of concoction in quite a while. Let's see what Vlad Banners only rounds this out with before I make it. Oh, it's an Aurelia counter pick.
Yeah, that is spicy from VBO. Aurelia, the Blade duelist herself, and this is going to be an absolutely fantastic game to watch if you're a VBO fan. Game 2, it's been a struggle bus for VBO, but regardless, it is comfort and it is playmaking champions. You have people like a Kaisa and Alistar, Kha'Zix, Synchro. I just go down the line. I list all 5, and every one of these has incredible potential to make plays. FGCU very much more well-rounded. They've drafted 2 supports and then their 3 carries, so it's more about just that overall big team fight potential with the Grand Starfall from the Taric ulti. But outside of that, FGCU sticking to their guns, just trying to go back to get that win. VBO, man, they're ready to duke it out. This is gonna be one hell of a game from VBO, win or loss.
Yeah, certainly will. There's a lot of volatile picks and lanes that they've drafted for themselves, but I think they may be feeling themselves after sort of skill checking FGCU in game number 1 and just absolutely blowing them out of the water. This Taric is certainly a good counter pick in a team fight realm. You know, everyone on this VBO lineup wants to dive in. Dusk to Dawn on this early wants to dive in. Jimmy wants to come up from the flank, dive into the back line. Nico wants to go in with the ultimate. Everyone wants to jump in. And there's nothing better at denying dive compositions than Taric ultimate and Kindred ultimate. They're 2 best things in the game at slowing down team fights and denying it. But you got to get through the laning phase once again with this Taric. He's not known as a good laner with those melee autos. He does have the E stun, which of course Lucian can dash around the lane a little bit to reposition the stun, but it's not a combination we see a lot, and that's for good reason. They're both very short range champions. It can be very hard to play into a lot of lanes, and if they don't set the wave up very well for themselves, it could be a very, very difficult time. You got to put some trust into Sheeta and Tomas. Of course, they know what they're doing. They're very good players. They carried this FGCU lineup last season. They're looking to do it again here today, but after that game 1, this is quite a difficult lane to draft for yourself, if I'm being honest, Necrox.
Yeah, and after the performance, you can only imagine that this one is going to go a similar way. But man, Lucian Taric has been so out of the meta. Typically, you pair Taric with someone like a Callista who can consistently hop around. That is very powerful. Lucian has 1 dash, and it's on quite a long cooldown, so it's a little bit rougher for Lucian Taric. I think they're probably just looking to take, again, those big team fights with their teams. So just try to stay out of those early skirmishes if you're Sheeta Kane, and if you're the bot lane of FGCU. VBO, though, they're looking to take every fight they got. I can't overstate how impeccable, how they got so much power in their draft, while their team composition and synergy may not be the best, as we are in our client draft now. You can see where all the picks are going. Finally, it will indeed be that Lulu top lane. I have to question whether VBO are having some fun with this draft, because they have just a bunch of damage and not a lot of peel, not a lot of CC. It's just an Alistar to make the plays for them for Walnut.
I mean, could be. You can always get some sort of a route with the Nico. You can look for picks on a side lane, or really, you could just look to play through top. You know, this Aurelia is a counter pick into Lulu. We saw it's a different pick than the Kennen for sure. It does have a little bit more ability to peel itself with a little bit of CC and the slows coming off of some of the autos. But we saw what Revenge did to Alfari with this counter pick. When you pick Aurelia as a counter into a ranged matchup, you can absolutely destroy that champion in the early parts of the game. And if you get ahead on Aurelia against a Lulu, you're getting dove every single time. Like every time, you're just dead. You're gonna die over and over and over again.
Yeah, and as we've seen professionally, we've seen in the amateur scene as well, Lulu is a champion that you can put just topside and just have a good time. Don't have to worry about it. Is we actually do get a sub this game in the top lane, so that's a little bit of a hint why that little pick is going the way it is. As we're gonna get what in the top lane on the Lulu. You have to wonder where everything is going. They have not swapped, so I don't actually believe they're in order. That makes a little bit more sense. So LCS order, it's not quite on your screen. I thought maybe Rabidon is gonna go Hecarim mid, and I was very confused for a second, but it's all made sense now, DJ.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we're gonna see a Corki in the jungle anytime soon. As you mentioned with the subs, what is in the top lane? Walnut is in the bottom lane for Alson. So this was again to plan for Vlad banners only. They announced this before the game, so Walnut will be in for Alson despite the excellent game one performance, and will be on an engaged champion. So we'll keep our eye again on that bottom lane, see if anything happens, if any action is tried to be made with Tomas on this Lucian. But yeah, I mean, when I look at these compositions in the draft, despite comfort going a little bit on the side of SGCU, I think there's plenty of comfort for Vlad banners only. And after game number one, and with such a synergistic dive comp, I got to hand this one over to them.
Yeah, and we'll see if that is the way it turns out, or if things are meant to be different here. Again, it's VBL looking to hold their title and move themselves back up to the top of the table, or FGCU Thunderbirds looking to duke it out, move themselves up the ladder in front of in front of VBO at the end of the night. Regardless, we'll be back in just over a minute with our casters, Doctor and Juicebox Sky, ready to tell you what's going on Summoner's Rift. We'll see you after that with our interview and a little bit more analysis. See you soon.
Welcome to the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Captain Juicebox Guy, joined by Dr. Doctor, and we are ready for a awesome game 2 after what was kind of a curb stomp of a game 1.
Did you just call yourself Captain? Do you have those credentials, sir? Do you have it on paper?
You will refer to me as Captain or my lord and nothing in the middle.
I will do no such thing, Mr. Juicebox Guy. And look at this. We're getting some things going on. It is just pretty standard 5-point start from both teams. Now, I know they beat the compositions to death there on the analyst desk. It's what they're good at. But it's an interesting one, to be sure. I do think FGCU have gone quite aggressively into the protect your carry comp, and then they kind of forgot about who's actually supposed to be the carry here. So I don't know. Corki is just such a left field pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, but and you know, Rabadon didn't have the best performance in game 1, so he's definitely going to be looking to turn it around. I don't know if Corki is the pick that you want to start that turnaround with, but you know, we have a few roster change-ups as well. What in the top lane is going to be coming in for Doran? And it's going to be Walnut for Alton, I believe it was, or Altus? Alson. Yeah, Alson. And I'm wondering if this is going to change anything in the first, or from the first game. Normally, when you have a really successful game 1, you want to keep that composition. What is getting whopped at the moment? But fortunately, Lulu is a fairly safe pick. She's really going to struggle into the Irelia pre-6, though.
I think she'll even probably continue to struggle post-6 as well, just because of how they work in. Jimmy's computer seems to have caught fire once again. We'll have to see if we can't get him a third computer on the next shipment.
Yep, time to get the cousin's computer.
But again, unfortunately, Riot, while giving us the ability to change the order of champions on the side of the screen, has taken away our pause timers.
All right, that was quick. Man,
yeah,
that cousin's computer was ready to go. Must have already had League installed.
Pre-downloaded.
came with the PC purchase. All right, one thing to note, though, is we already do have a relatively sizable CS advantage starting up on that top side. There is still a fair wave, although Rabadon has a Jimmy flying at him. Jimmy's unable to close that distance, so he's not even going to waste the jump. These stuns from Sheeta are pretty saucy, though. Unfortunately, it is a Taric, and Taric is A, not meta, and B, not tanky yet. So every good play he is making is getting a bit of that backhand mentality given back. So sure, he can get him with the first slap, but that second pop is right around the corner.
I do think the Taric is not terrible, realistically. I think they kind of see it as a counter pick just because of the way the Dazzle works in regards to the interaction. But it's another one of those kind of difficult to execute compositions because of how the ultimate works and just how it can be avoided quite easily, right? Especially when you have somebody like the Alistar, because just because you can't kill him doesn't mean you can't punt them away. And the lane, I don't know, because you're picking this hyper bully in the Lucian into this carry of the Kaisa, and how do you execute the bulliness is my biggest question, because the Taric just doesn't enable that. You know, it's not the same as if we had you know, like a Braum support or even a Pantheon support, something to just really accentuate the potential kill lane.
It's really tough, you know. There's no clear-cut answer. You're kind of relying on a mistake from the opposing squad. What is he's dealing with some unfortunate things. Oh gosh, it's almost Revenge versus Alfari all over again. Fortunately, Ronaldo is there on that top side. Stingus, nice dodge there on the stun, and Sheeta once again is just getting chunked down so low. But Walnut, on the other hand, is about to get cracked open for his good good nutty inside. Sheeta flash forward, and this could be first blood. Teleport is channeling, though, and Stingus has Sheeta on the ropes. There is the teleport in response, but Sheeta Kane already dead, and another teleport to follow up. Tomas has a sliver of health. He's able to kill off the Kaisa, but Rabadon is left in a 2v1 against two people who are really good at killing you. Triple kill for the mid laner and Prophet, everybody lost, but Prophet won in a way.
Yeah, he cashed out his GME stocks at the tippity top. He's feeling good, feeling rich. And I mean, 3 kills early on to the Nico. We were kind of talking about it in our pause state where Nico hasn't had the best showing here in NAAM. And, you know, it is this full AP build. It's no longer that on hit that we saw previously in the top lane. And it can be a bit of a struggle to operate. But when you are just simply gifted a triple kill, it becomes a heck of a lot easier to manage. And so we'll have to see what the build path here is. Stingus is in the mid lane. That's wrong. Go where you belong. You're the marksman. You don't get to actually enjoy what you're doing here today. If you want to do that, you got to go back top lane.
What are you talking about? It's 80 carry versus 80 carry matchup right now. Rabadon versus Stingus, the showcase match that we all wanted to see this entire time. One thing to note is what a back for the Nico. Prophet's gonna be feeling himself after getting so much power in one recall. He had, I believe, 1,300 gold on his recall. He's up to the Hex Tech Alternator combined with the Blasting one. And Rabadon officially gets to play somehow even more safe than a Corki has to normally play early.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, Corki, again, we were talking about the build paths that we can typically see. You know, there's the Luden's build path, there's the excuse me, there's the Divine Sunderer and the Trinity Force build paths, which are relatively similar. And then I guess technically you could go something like Gale Force or Kraken Slayer. But with the Electrocute, I have to imagine it's going to be the Divine or Trinity.
Oh no, Prophet chunked out incredibly well. Here's the Pop Blossom, stunned up goes Ronaldo, and Ronaldo, you are not Jimmy. Your plays don't get to look good. Rabadon's trying to get on to Prophet, unable to do so. Wild Growth is going to keep him alive for the time being, but it's only for the time being. And Vlad banners only are really just only kicking the crap out of FGCU.
There's a lot going on here, and this is something we actually saw in the last game as well, where VBO are very quick to follow up on Jimmy.
Yeah, and the action ain't over yet. Sheeta Kane looking for a stun, but gets stunned up himself, chunked down below half health, and Walnut. He's literally just a, you know, you expect this normally, but he's literally just a giant meat shield for Tomas and Sheeta Kane to pound into until Stingus has an opportunity to give him the hurt here. Dust to Dawn looking to get a little saucy with what? Not able to pull anything off, though.
This bottom lane is actually very unfortunate here for the side of FGCU, as you see. Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy totally whiffs, but it doesn't matter. Ronaldo has the Onslaught of Shadows onto 2, gets the shield from Sheeta Kane, and it could be the kill. Ignites taking Ronaldo down. Is it enough? Yes, it is. Walnut, he can just cower in the bush for half a second before he, too, will join his 80 carry on that gray screen. We have a pair of Kazakhs now roaming the bottom river.
2 for 2. It stops the dragon, which is the crucial bit. The Hack Room can do that quite easily at this stage, and so it buys you a little bit more time, potentially gives you a better situation to reset with your bottom lane and go for it again. And especially with the bottom lane of FGCU right now recalling, Stingus, Walnut, and Jimmy could all just run down there. They could just rush straight to the dragon. They're seeing pings onto it on both sides, but it's just clearing wards and stuff. And one very critical thing about this bottom lane that we've sort of neglected to mention is specifically the Taric Kaisa matchup, which can be very problematic. That Dazzle can be very easy if you save the boost there from Stingus to just go faster, right? As soon as you see the Dazzle pop it, you run left, and all of a sudden you're safe. So it's a bit of a struggle. It's not like old Dazzle, where it was a point and click, which thank God it's not. Those were the dark days of League of Legends, truly.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like that world history thing where it's like, yeah, it's not perfect and it feels like the darkest days of all time, but it's always constantly getting better. That's how it is for League of Legends too. It's like, yeah, you know, it's not fun. There's some really annoying stuff. Hold up. Speaking of annoying, Rabadon is obliterated. And
That's a lot of damage.
I remember when he used to be there. Anyway, the game is still significantly better than it used to be, as all of the older players can definitely vouch for.
No, as an AD carry player, it has only gotten darker and
Oh no, Stingus chunked out a little bit. Sheeta Kane sticks with the strategy of getting chunked out immediately afterwards. However, it is a winning trade. Ooh, flash forward from Sheeta. Killer Instinct's gonna keep Stingus alive for the time being. Double pulverize on 2. And Sheeta Kane just gets completely outplayed. Ronaldo's here on the top side. I don't know if this is necessarily a 2v2 that you straight up win. Onslaught of Shadows completely whiffs. Dust to Dawn. He is flying around everywhere. He's zigging and he's zagging. And now it's time to knock down the cavalry that was coming in so confident and gets sent home as a pile of glue.
he's trying to hold the team together, and it is just not working out for him. And there's not a whole lot of scaling in this team either. FGCU are very reliant right now on Rabadon, who, again, it's just been getting darker and darker for this mid lane. It looks correlated because it's 141 Corki to 401 Nico, but not all of those kills onto Prophet have come from just Rabadon. You know, Prophet hasn't solo killed him 4 times. It just so happens that they're correlated. And so the Nico pick showing some clear aggression and some really strong points with that rocket belt now completed. Shootakan.
Okay, so Shootakan finds Prophet, gets chunked down to half health, even through the heal. And I'm going to say you probably don't want to run that one back, Shootakan. You just, yeah, go back to bot lane where you belong. Now, I will say this about the Nico. Yeah, it's not much better, but it's still better than that. Ooh, nice dodge there from what? Hard to dodge a flying. Is he gonna get away? Jimmy takes 1 tower and has to walk out. Prophet's here though. He's trying to get a little cheeky here, but unable to pull anything off. Now, what I was gonna say about Nico is it does look really good when your enemy picks someone who's not remotely useful for your team. Yeah, this Nico pick looks insanely valuable.
It's a strong pick in theory. I mean, again, the experiences that I've seen, at least personally, have been very mixed. I've liked the Nico. It does a lot in terms of team fight progression because you do have that AoE snare along with the ultimate.
Oh, this could be disaster for Stingus. Taric ultimate is on the 3, but here's the Pop Blossom. 3-man stun, 2-man pulverized, and the reinforcements has arrived. 2 more stuns coming from the Irelia. Rabadon running for his life, and you, sir, are going to be made into a very fine hat for Irelia. Dustadon, though, is getting chunked out fairly low. Tomas has got to play this so carefully, though. He could get popped in a second from the popper herself in Prophet. And in the grand scheme of things, that was still a huge win for Vlad Banners Online, but definitely better than anything else has gone this game for FGCU.
Definitely a bunch of onliners, as Jimmy can't even get the McDonald's Wi-Fi to work well enough for him. Yes, he's 4-0, but I mean, how many disconnects can you have, man? But I mean, how do you dive a tower 3v1 and still lose? Like, Stingus bought so much time there, being able to use the flash, to use the instinct, to just stay safe and stay out of range of just being absolutely melted.
Rabadon, this is where nightmares are made. That is called desperation. That is called going for it all, and that is called the most depressing fall. Rabadon cannot secure the kill, and instead he is looking like a real goofball after that one.
This Corki pick is pretty chalked, if I'm gonna be honest with the folks at home, and I think they do expect me as a medical professional to be honest with them. Spoiler alert, not actually a medical professional. This is not medical advice, although I will say please don't pick Corki. You're so she's not good.
Yeah, it's bad for mental health.
231
Walnut.
stack.
Walnut is insanely disrespectful. There's the calling. Tomas able to shut down the Alistar, and wow, I don't know what Walnut thought was gonna happen there, but it did not go as he intended. Didn't even use the Unbreakable Will. Sheeta Kane takes the Electrocute proc. Ronaldo's trying to kill off Prophet. Prophet with the instant ultimate. Ronaldo, beautiful dodge there. Onslaught of Shadows onto 2. Jimmy able to jump over the wall, and God, that snare hurt me so bad. Dingus has arrived. He's got the killer instinct, and people are being murdered. Dust to Dawn tries to frontline. It doesn't go particularly well. Tomas is looking like a scary. The Lulu Lucian is dangerous as a combo. Jimmy does manage to shut him down, so that is really gonna be about as depressing as things can get. You have one guy who's doing really, really well. I'm gonna ignore that. Whatever. Stingus just literally did exactly what Walnut did a minute earlier and died the exact same way. Whatever. Anyway, there's one thing that was going well for FGCU, and that's that Tomas was killing it. Tomas finally bites the dust and joins his team as a guy who's gonna probably be dying a lot.
You hate to see it. It's a bit tragic. I do love the Lucian though, and how it's panning out. The press the attack plus the Kraken Slayer. It is so brutal, and there isn't really a true tank on the side of Vlad Banners only. Yes, Walnut does have the Unbreakable Will to get tanky, but it's a limited time action, and once that's gone, it's gone for the next 60 seconds or however long the ultimate is. Or cooldown, excuse me. The Lucian could actually have a chance to pop off here if they keep, using Rabadon as bait, which is probably the play. 1 in 7, just sacrifice the Corki into Oblivion, throw all of your resources here at Tomas, who does have a really high combat efficiency, even when they're not, rolling in the gold, such as this game.
Yeah, I think it's about time for Rabadon to just get a Spell Thief's Edge and really embrace the support Corki, because he is never going to be dealing damage at this rate. 2 dragons down at the 17-minute mark, and a Sheeta Kane down as well. Prophet finding himself a nice Tarek snack in the river there, and with
use the ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. They did get some resources. That might be worth a Tarek. I'm sure Tarek was only worth a few hundred gold, but hey, Sting just press Control Alt Delete on Tomas. Okay, so mid tower is going to fall finally. It's looking bleak.
There's a lot of things happening, and not all of them are good for FGCU.
Not any of them are good.
Walnut not at this particular moment, you're right. Lucian, though, coming online, has the Sheen, working towards that Essence Reaver. There is a chance. He's got 6 kills, 130 farm. He's only down 30, which is pretty par across the board for all of his team.
Oh, no.
Sheeta Khan is just
Sheeta.
rough day. Rough day at the office.
He's just getting shredded right now from multiple individuals. That's disgusting. 4 people here on the bottom side. A Wandering Cow making his way down bottom as well. Fortunately for FGCU, they get the right idea and just leave that tower. They're probably, well, actually Corki's gonna stick around, but they're probably gonna have to be giving up just about everything. I mean, they are 8,000 gold down at the 19-minute mark. This is an FF15 game.
It's 19 minutes into the game, Juicebox.
I know, but if you were in this game even at the 15-minute mark, you probably still would be like, well, I wouldn't, because, yeah, I typically don't surrender unless inhibitors are cracked pre-15. Oh, Tomas, you were looking so promising, and now you're being murdered over and over. It is mayhem. Pot Blossom used, so they got that going for them. They're looking to get this Rift Herald and maybe just do a rinse and repeat of what happened last game.
They only have a very limited window here to kill it. They do have a ton of damage, but any type of interruption here probably delays it.
Oh, Walnut has no health, and this could be exactly what FGCU was looking for. Prophet does go into stasis for the time being. The package does so much work onto Stingus. There's the Vanguard's edge for Dust to Dawn's triple kill for the Corky, and he's coming back, ladies and gentlemen. It's exactly what he wanted. Dust to Dawn, beautiful flash on the stun. And Irelia is going to clean up one side of the fight while Corky just it comes out of nowhere for a quadra kill, and now he looks like he went from a terrible game to just a bad game.
Corky somehow gets a quadra kill. How? The package wasn't that big. It was a very little package there from Rabadon. And yet somehow Stingus just jumped right on top of it and hung out there for quite a while. And it just completely disintegrated him. And the rest of the team fight it was really awkward. We saw so many members there from VBO onto the Herald, and it was going down. It was doing its thing. But like I was saying, any interruption delays them long enough that they can't actually secure the objective. And on top of that, the call was split from the members that were there. 2 of them wanted to fight. Jimmy just wanted to secure the objective. And the CC layering that came in then from FGCU just made it so that there wasn't really going to be any type of response. And then that's a lot of damage from Rabadon. He's completed the Divine Thunder and Metamune combo.
All right, Rabadon, I take it back. Don't build the Spell Thieves. That was my bad. That's on me. Yeah, no, with 2 items completed, Corky officially hurts, and that is boding very well for the side of FGCU. Here's the issue, though. They are 3 dragons down, soul point for Vlad banners only, and they are still about 7,000 gold down, so I still think that if they are going to get into this game, they have such a long way to go, and it's not like Vlad banners only doesn't have late scaling to their name.
It's a long hill to climb still. Duskadon still.
Oh, 2-man pulverize. Stingus just jumps in the middle of everybody. Taric ultimate does protect the roster for the time being, and that was a pretty solid Cosmic Radiance for the disengage. 22 minutes in, 2 minutes short of last game, and it looks like Vlad Banners only are thinking about this Baron. They do it on top of the blue trinket. Sheeta Kane unable to get that stun, and Ronaldo gets evaporated. That man is joining the water that is the river. Now they could actually pull this Baron off. Pot Blossom still available for Prophet. I'm going to be keeping my eye on that one. The only ultimate missing is one from Stingus, but the fight is on, and Sheeta Kane is gone. What will join him? Tomas, desperation as brutal as you have ever seen it. It's like one of those sad puppy commercials with the arms of the angel for this man. Sheeta Kane, the one who instantly got popped, is the last one standing, and Prophet says, I'm not about that life. Finishes him off as well. That is a clean sweep. That is a Baron, and we are only 23 minutes into this game.
Vlad Banners are just built different in the support role. Just 2 games in a row, they've been completely on top of everything. Walnut just obliterates them at that choke point. It looks really scary. You actually saw Prophet go ahead and tangle up the Hecarim to make sure that they couldn't get into the pit and execute somebody, which meant that they didn't have that for that really narrow corridor for the rest of the team. But I guess it doesn't matter. You get the headbutt pulled in from Walnut, and it just completely melted the rest of the team fight. You saw Tomas try and get something done, just about took out Stingus, but just didn't have enough left in the tank and get collapsed upon. And Corky, he's great in these really short trades where he gets, you know, a missile into a Divine Thunder or proc, into just kind of hang out and then do it again. But in these really long, elongated fights, there's just too much sustain coming in from the members of Vlad Banners only right now, and it's only going to keep getting worse. Trinity Force now completed for Dust to Dawn, going for that 3rd item, and they just don't have an answer for the eventual split push that will come out.
Yeah, and Prophet's got the Rabadons completed as well. Like, the items are so skewed at this game state. You can't win a team fight. You still have a while to scale. You don't have a Taric anymore. He is just blown up immediately. And I feel so bad for Cheetah, too, because he's just trying to get some vision down. All right, package in for Rabadon. the W out for Rabadon, and Prophet is here, guys. You don't win this fight. Wild Growth just to keep Rabadon alive long enough to see that Lulu die first. So, you know, pretty tragic thing for him. All the outer towers are basically gone. That bottom one's going to be gone in just a second. And look at that. They're just chilling next to their cannon, letting it chip away at this middle inhib tower.
I mean, what else is there to do? They could guide the wave in, but we all know exactly what the game plan was here. They want to get that wave in. They want to take this tower down. We're probably going to see Walnut engage in just a second. He has that Unbreakable Will available. He's just waiting for the perfect moment. Doesn't have Flash, only the Hex Flash, but honestly, if he gets anybody, they're probably dead. Cosmic Radiance not available just yet here for Shida Khan. So this is looking like a double inhibitor take for basically the
Yeah, and you know, they really can't try to stop them. Even walking up almost can result in a full team wipe. Shida Kano gets the stun on the Jimmy, and Jimmy is shut down instantly. Pop Blossom on the 4, and that is 2 men killed off. Double kill for Prophet, and that is a triple kill, I believe. Oh no, a double kill for Kaisa rather. And my screen has totally frozen from the epicness.
spectator mode. Good solid spectator mode here. If this is similar to the old days, it means that the game is over. But I'm gonna wait for confirmation for just a second. But nope, I think we're just gonna call that one. VBO, oh man, that was just absolutely insane. And man, Prophet on the Nico pick. Just come here, my little PogChamp. Like, what are you doing? Take it home. It's nuts. Juicebox, toss it to analyst desk.
Take it away, analyst desk. You guys have fun breaking that one down.